lot of lost people in society today. So that's why I do my videos, to get the souls back on track.
And just discuss in depth the kind of things you cover and speak about on your show.
I talk about politics, how the conservatives roll, how the liberals roll. Liberals don't like to hold people accountable. They like you to have leeway and too much freedom. And when you have too much freedom and not using it for the right reason, it causes a lot of destruction that we see in the States today. When you're a conservative, you be held accountable for your actions. You learn from your rights and wrongs. And when you learn from your rights and wrongs, then you will be able to connect the dots and see what Christ has spoken on and others have spoken on before us that pass on the lettering that people cannot see because they want to deal with the lower entity instead of dealing with the higher entity.
Very good. So, do you take offense to dislikes or what you would consider negative comments about the material or information that is presented?
No, I do not, because I realize as I got a little bit more older and a lot more mature, people are going to agree to disagree. At the end of the day, the truth will stand on its toes.
Have you ever heard of Francis Cress Welsing or Neely Fuller Jr.?
The doctor, yes.
You heard of Dr. Welsing?
Yes, I did.
And are you familiar with Neely Fuller Jr. at all?
A little bit.
Okay. Do you believe quote unquote white supremacy exists, or what's referred to as white supremacy?
Well, you got to remember, when you look at the biblical point of view, Esau is the so-called Jews that we have in Israel today. They're not the original Jews. Our people are the original Jews. So what happened is, because we went against our Heavenly Father in Christ and disobeyed the commandments, laws, and statutes, the Khazars, the empire took over during the Roman time. So that our people fled into Africa. We're not Africans because it's ham and ship. We're two different people. That's why we see most Africans come to this country. They don't socialize with us because they even know by Timbuktu, you heard of Timbuktu, that we are not the same people. We just have a different indigenous way of doing things.
So you do believe that white supremacy exists?
It exists if you allow them to get the best of you. They only in charge because the people that's over them, the elites, give them orders to scare tactics everybody. You understand?
So just to be clear, what's the evidence that shows that white supremacy exists?
When you go back into the lettering of the 40s and 50s, look at what they did to the black woman. They separated the black woman from the black man. They told the black woman, if you want to have leverage like us white men and white women, you have to take the black man out, because they knew the black man was indigenous people in the planet. We circulate the earth and the stars and the moon, and the other nations come from us, within us. We have the Y and the G and the X chromosomes. So we have different polarities that we spread out throughout the universe. And what happened is, the little universe wants to outbid the big universe. See, we like to always socialize with other nations and do what they do. We can't do what they do if we're supposed to be the fathers and mothers of the earth. We're supposed to be by example. And you look at how they imitate us with sports, with writing, with music, etc., whether it be good or bad. All nations try to emulate us in different ways. So their supremacy is learned from our supremacy during Moors' time, because the Moors had a lot of people in the slave trade and exchange. So they learned a lot from our lettering and used reverse psychology on us. That's how white supremacy came about.
And are you familiar with this notion of Zionism?
Yes. Yes, I am.
And you also believe that exists?
Yes. Those the Rockefellers, the J.P. Morgans, the Dunderbergs, and all these people that stay in certain parts of
Okay, folks, you're listening to J.Talks to the People radio program. I have special guest Ron G talking about very crucial, very important information. I highly do recommend that you check him out. He has a YouTube show discussing similar topics. Shifting gears just a little bit, is same-sex marriage correct?
A man with a woman, correct? That's what you're asking me?
No.
Or does same-sex mean man with man?
Right, same-sex.
Same-sex marriage, no. I don't believe in that. That's not good. It's not healthy.
Okay, so it's not correct.
No, it's not correct because the imbalance, us being more hibernated, we dehydrate when you go with the same sex. When you look at the statistics, I'll give you an example, like in the story of Lot. He tried to give his daughters away to the men trying to get with the angels of the light, and they try to rush and destroy. You have these men that don't believe in going with the woman because they can't deal with themselves on a spiritual level. They have so much low IQ because they've been around so much falsity that they allow these entities of other realms come in on them to become effeminate. Effeminate has been going on since the beginning of the time. It's just that now it's going abroad, and a lot of people are accepting it, which I don't know for whatever reason why they accept it, because it demises your mind. It don't make you think straight. It lowers everything you do. It makes you sick. It makes you have more diseases, and you cannot connect with that. It's just not natural. That's like an apple going with an orange. An apple can't go with an orange because the apple have a different seed. The orange have a different seed. You put a plug into the cord. You can't put a plug with a plug. It's not going to work.
Okay, so just so to make it very plain, what is the result ultimately of this practice in the long run or long term?
Because when you look at certain cultures, even some of the Africans, when they always try to compete for the woman, you see a lion, it's a lion, and he has multiple women, and the other lion can't get to certain women because he don't want to build up his character. So what happens is they take the easy way out and try to get with other men. It's some type of chemical balance in the earth with all the spraying that they're doing amongst all the world. They lowering the people's vibration to the lowest point that even animals is trying to show them balance, and people can't even see basic skills. That's why they go the easy route. They rather be wicked. A lot of people love to be wicked.
So it will result in wickedness? Is that pretty much the gist of where you're going?
That's correct.
Okay. Is quote unquote interracial marriage correct?
It's good if the woman does not get you to go against the Lord of your creation. See, what happens is some people believe in these other entities, these Egyptologists, and these other formats that have not helped the people. Look at Egypt right now. Look what happened when they did to our people, the Hebrew Israelites. They try to manipulate us into believing this falsity, and they got our people insane to the point that they can't let go of all the stuff that has got you. Why would you love captivity? Why do people love captivity? It's because they love it, because they don't want to let go of the things they have. They don't want to give their rights to the higher beings. They don't want to be Avatar. They want to be Terminator. They want to be in the Matrix. They love it so much. They don't think it's anything more beautiful than what they was told by these oppressors that you quote unquote call oppressors.
And the result, again, like what will be, or before I get into that, so pretty much to get the epicenter of what you're saying, the best kind or situations for so-called interracial marriage are the kinds where the two people don't have an interfaith. They kind of believe in the same thing. Is that where you're going with that?
That is correct. That is correct, because if you look at most interracial relationships, what happens is, let's say a black man gets with a white woman. A white woman believes in her Lord is the tree or the many men following women. Proverbs 31:3 says, give not thy strength unto thy woman, for she destroyed kings, and etc. So, when you follow a woman, she's going to disrespect you and destroy you. It doesn't matter what culture the woman is. You never give your all to a woman. You give her based on what she does on her performance.
Now, in regards to statistics, statistics, they show quote unquote interracial marriage on the rise, but from what I can see, it is still pretty rare. I was out today, and I'm out numerous times, and I rarely do see so-called interracial couples. And I've kind of coming to some conclusions on why that could be if it's so rare. But in your line of reasoning, what would you think the ultimate result of what would be of interracial marriage growing? What would you think the result of what that would be?
I have to answer your question. I see a lot of interracial couples, and a lot of people are happy and joyous, and they believe, well, whatever they believe in, that they believe. The thing about it is that they still would rather be with their own. It's just that too much madness amongst the certain cultures. Interracial been going on for a long time. It's just a simple fact that you have to have a common ground, and you have to have some type of belief. And a lot of women and some men don't have a belief in themselves. They don't love themselves, so they just go off. Some people just go out with another culture to sabotage the other culture. You get what I'm saying? Some people do it for wrong reasons. Some people do it for right reasons. So it's like you say, it's a small percentage of it that is actually legit. The majority of it is just a show. It's a show, just like the celebrity. It's a show to make believe. It's like make believe with the Wizard of Oz. It's not even real. You could tell by walking in certain places if you have the mindset that you know it's legit by the actions, the spirit, and you would know if it's legit. So interracial will be definitely growing in the upcoming years because people are tired of dealing with women in America. A lot of men just tired of dealing with women in America because they don't want to do the right thing by the men. So,
and
you're going to see a lot more Japanese. Japanese is the highest one, by the way, in interracial, dealing with other culture.
Oh, okay. And I noticed people try to blend the two between homosexuality and miscegenation, or same-sex marriage and interracial marriage. Is homosexuality and miscegenation natural?
No.
So
they're doing that because they want a lot of these men of other cultures and some black men want to have a black man that is straight. They want this society to be turned upside down based on population. The earth is big enough to feed everybody. They just want to play numbers game, with us to an extent. And we have to realize that as a people, that we are being also by these effeminate males in charge of the world. They are effeminate. They are biscuit, soft men that love other men. They use their wives as bid, I will call it. They will have a woman, they will have children with these women, but they're not really into the woman, they're into men. Man, it's a sick world we live in. And during the slavery time, this was going on too. You had white men sleeping with more black men than they were sleeping with black women.
Okay, so homosexuality is not natural, is that correct?
No, it's not natural.
And is miscegenation natural, what they call race mixing?
It's natural to an extent because you got to remember, if you are a righteous man and you meet a woman of another ethnicity and she is not right, she believes in like snakes and Ouija boards and all that, you will be a fool to deal with somebody like that and have a child with that, because then your child will be fascinated with that and turn on you, and she will turn on you. You don't want, if you want to get with another culture woman, you want to have some, steady her spirit, see her upbringing. Don't rush into it. That goes dealing with your own too. Because sometimes a woman has the power to manipulate men into doing things they're not supposed to do. This has been going on for a long time. And men still cannot see this to be true because they're looking at the vagina and the breast instead of looking at what is her observation for you. In order for you to survive and for her to survive and for the child to survive, because we're seeing so many women destroying their children, changing them into different ways instead of being normal. They want to be abnormal. You don't want to have an abnormal female if you're going to go outside the culture. And some of them are abnormal. I have my experiences dealing with other culture women, and they are flat crazy. Most of them that dealt with.
Once again, folks, J.Talks to the People radio program. I have special guest Ron G sharing light and insight on these very crucial and to some controversial topics. Call-in number is 773-897-6235. So, Mr. Ron G, is abortion correct?
No.
And why is it not correct?
Because, okay, now if the woman was sexually raped, that's a leeway. Even though it's wrong, in a sense, it's a leeway. Now, if you're going out with the man, and you having sex with this man unprotected, and all of a sudden you have a child with this man, it's on purpose for the child to be born. Now, if you kill the child, you have to deal with the consequences when the time comes for judgment. If you did not want to have a child with the man, have protected sex. There's no excuse.
So, what is the result? What is the result of the practice of abortion to the people on the planet if it or as it increases on the planet? Or what would the result you think it would be?
A lot of people believe that if they give abortions to these function jurisdiction places, that they will have power within them. Blood sacrifice. You ever heard of blood sacrifice?
Yes, I'm a little familiar with it.
Okay. Let's say you're going through a situation and the people will say, listen, if you give your child to us, we will give you money, which happens. A lot of women get money, and men, by the way, get money from these abortions, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I heard stories 30, 40,000. They will rather take the bride than to have a child that could help them later on down the road. Why would you want the short of gain of little wealth for wealth, and you're going to become more miserable and know that what you did is wrong, but then feel it's right, because the scriptures say in these days that right will be wrong and wrong will be right. They change the times and the laws. So they changing the ways of our thinking with the TV, shows, manipulating people into going against natural use. That's unnatural. Why would you want to kill a precious child for some money and get hair weaves and all this other madness that I mean, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't want to be with a woman like that. And for a man to want that, to allow that to happen, what that says about him, he ain't right either.
All right. Well, time is winding down. We might have to have you back, Ron G. Would you be willing to come back?
All right, man, sounds good. Yes, I'm willing to come back.
I do want to get in a few more questions. I want to try to get in as much as possible. Now, what they call transgenders, is that, or what they call transgenders natural as far as taking on an identity, role, or orientation?
It's like a demon possessed with a molecule of -8. They do that because they want to be like these manifest TV shows that they have on. It's worse than just being with the same sex. That's beyond wicked. That's sick. woman one day and then be the man the next day. That's sick, man. That's crazy. You gotta be careful out there. Fellas and ladies, be careful out there when you go out on the dating scene because you don't know who is who nowadays. Expect the person by their spirit because these transgenders look better than most women. I've been to places and I've seen it for myself. I told one of my friends, yo, that's a man. He said, no, that's a woman. He literally came close to that person and almost kissed that man. He listened to the voice and went back to me and said, holy shit, damn, man, I better start discerning my spirit because this shit is real out here. You think you're dating a woman, that thing you know is a fucking dude. We can take it home nowadays.
So you say it's truly not sensible to be physically, genetically one gender and think to be the opposite or another gender.
You should not want to think about to be an opposite gender. If you think that way, stay away from me. I ain't with that. Hell to the no. Man's supposed to be with a woman, and a woman's supposed to be with a man. We have to learn how to deal with our situation. We have to learn how to cope in society and allow not these negative forces, miserable people to distract you from doing what you're supposed to do as a man, as a woman. If we be able to go through the cycle of dealing with these folks and change our ways for the better, they will no longer be around because they are the parasites. You know what a parasite is, right?
Yes.
So there you have it. That's why I call them transgenders are parasites to the world.
Now, you know, you have individuals that say, well, it's justified to indulge in my feelings if I feel that I'm a male or female. Isn't it justified? If I feel like I'm a male, even though I'm a female, or vice versa?
If they want to be that way, that's on them. Don't force it on those who ain't with that. That's the problem I have with them. They want to force everything down people's throats like, hold on, yo, that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Don't bring that to me and to people that believe in going with the opposite sex. You messing it up for the children. The children are messed up because of this madness. They don't even know who to be because they see this on subliminal TV. Let them make the decision. Stop forcing people. If you want to go to wrong, then force it on those who don't want to deal with it. Ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying with how they're forcing or imposing, especially with the transgender bathroom, restroom, locker room facility, and putting this in the law and putting this in the schools.
Exactly, because that's why the Supreme Court, that's why the Supreme Court had to put a law like 8 seconds. They cut that all out because they lost money. At the end of the day, if you're losing money, you're going to do the right thing. They know. A lot of people wasn't with that. That's why they stopped it. A lot of people don't know, you know now. They passed it 2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court. They told Obama, we're not going to allow this because we're losing money. When you talk about white supremacy, take away the money from them, they will do the right thing. I guarantee you, black folks that spend $1 trillion, no more, start budgeting their money the right way, they will respect us more. It's all about the money at the end of the day. That's how you deal with these folks.
All right, thank you, folks, for tuning in.
All right.
That was a pretty good section.
I mean, it kind of ended on us talking. I kind of wanted to
Go in more?
No, I wanted to, close out with, me saying thanks for, listen. That's why, you heard me at the end. Thanks for tuning in because it was down to 1 second. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that was good.
That's maybe one time when you invite him over, I can go through, I could get on the show too. You have more than one guest? That might be cool. I'll be on the show too one day.
You know what? We're going to have to make a longer program if I have more than one guest.
Oh, okay. Because some of the things that he was saying, I agree to, but I agree to it for different reasons.
Okay, folks, this is J.Talks to the People. This is after the program. I do have a guest with me on the fly. Again, I do have Miss Rain. She's back. She was actually in the studio. This is now on the Google Hangout style or Hangout form. Miss Rain, you did mention to me that you did have some afterthoughts about the program, right versus wrong. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the thoughts that I had about the program, I agreed with a lot of the things that the guest that you had there, his name was Ron G, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I agreed with a lot of the things that he was saying, but some of the things that he was saying, I agree with them for different reasons, especially with the things that he was saying about the transgender. A lot of it, one of the things is there's more things that can be, you could just base a lot of things just basically based off of fact and biology. Like when you were asking him questions like, what does that do when you were talking about like the same sex couples? Well, one of the main things that it could do is change public perception and make things more acceptable, which would have been suppressed previously. And most importantly, lower the population, which in some people's eyes, some people's views is a good thing, which I've learned before that the overpopulation that people are screaming and crying about isn't even as real of a threat as people make it seem to be. Like there's enough resources for everybody, but we need to learn to share. And I think another thing is self-control is a big thing. If you're worried about heterosexuality and overpopulation, then this oversexuality has to be addressed too. Because if people knew how to control themselves, we wouldn't have an issue with overpopulation, abortion, and a lot of things like that.
So you think the overpopulation is kind of like an excuse to try to say that, well, this kind of justifies homosexuality and non-reproduction?
Yeah, a lot of people use that. There's even there's a mindset within the elite that he was talking about that I believe is anti-human. They believe in everything that will destroy us. Like those type of behaviors, that type of mindset, even if you go back in history and look at every culture that accepted that type of behavior, the homosexuality, the transsexual agenda, that behavior, they all fall after they go through that.
What about abortion? Does abortion fit in those categories too, as that non-reproductive or
anti-human?
Anti-human, that's right.
It's another anti-human thing. Like it's things that you think of the mother, the father, it builds up the child. If you're thinking about the mother, the father, and it's just not going nowhere, there's no next level to that. There's no next level to the genealogy, to the next, and then they get to pick, because then you get to pick, okay, only smart people, only people with this, level can have children. They can really like block people out genetically.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Just a few afterthoughts and views of the program. Thank you for tuning in or listening in to the program that was on live, www.blogtalkradio.com/J.Talks to the People. This also will be uploaded onto J.Talks to the People YouTube channel, and all is archived. You can also email jtalkstothepeople@yahoo.com for information, questions, comments, debate requests, etc., etc. There's no hold bars. Give anything you like. We'll see you the next go around.